Some gay guy in the chat is trying to show me his nugs. Look at my nugs, Dennis. Look at them.
Top 5 favorite movies.
Gonna be off the top of my head. Let's get it.
Yeah, I didn't even fucking make a list. I should have made a list.
I didn't even know, so I didn't think about it.
Yeah, you should have checked the Discord chat, Dennis, because we were talking about it in there.
Yeah, dog.
I'm already out of my drink. My drink's gone. Well, shit. Shit, now I want to, make a list, but I'm trying to think. 5 movies. I should have made a list.
It's a good thing I only picked 5.
I don't even know if mine will be...
Yeah, it's really good idea that you picked 5.
Might not even be top 5 favorite. It'll be just top 5 that I can think off the top of my head that are really good, that I really like.
That's not bad. I like that idea. If we just do, a top 5, good movies we can think of.
Yeah.
And then organize them into a top 10 list, that's actually a better idea.
That was my original plan, so...
Hey, fuck it. Let's do it.
Fuck it. You guys want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead. You go, and then I'll go, because I have one in my head right now.
Okay. So, my number 5...
Endgame.
No, it's not Endgame. Don't worry.
Number 5 is Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, fuck.
It's a classic. I was actually...
I don't know if we consider it a classic, but...
I'm not doing this with you right now.
we're just...
Damn.
Are we talking specific movies? Are we talking just, live action? Or does animated count? Or...
Oh, no. You can... Any movie, dude.
Are we counting anything?
Any movie.
Yeah, any movie.
Anything that's longer than an hour. It's considered a movie. It doesn't matter if it's animated, what. It doesn't matter. No short films. Short films don't count. Has to be over an hour long. Typically, short films are 45 minutes?
Something like that.
Rob, you're the filmmaker.
Barely.
Okay, so Rob says Revenge of the Sith, which we'll get in. But before I forget it, because I'm drinking, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Yeah, that's on my list.
It's a romantic comedy, but it's the best romantic comedy. Also, Rob, virtual high five because I love you.
But I can't see your
Scott
camera.
Pilgrim. Well, just here, ready? Listen for the clap, ready? Bam. You did it. Scott Pilgrim versus the World is the best.
It really is.
I bought that movie on Blu-ray a month ago and watched it at least 100 times since I bought it.
Are we just saying our favorite movies, or what are we doing?
Just think of 5 movies that you think are exceptionally good. You can make them.
I know my favorite movie.
What is it?
Yeah, you can include it for sure. Just 5 movies that you think are fucking good.
If I was throwing a movie on this list of 10, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy would be on there, 100%.
Yes.
That's my favorite movie of all time.
That's a great movie. It's underrated as hell, too. A lot of people don't like that movie, and I don't get it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. A lot of people don't like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Yeah.
But the book, I love that book. I listened to that book 3 or 4 times when I was working in a factory. I just listened to it on Audible.
Really?
Shout out to Audible for sponsoring this podcast.
I wish.
Someone in my chat says Shrek 1, Shrek 2, Shrek 3, Shrek Forever After, and Shrek Live Action.
That's not even wrong. I agree. What am I doing with my shitty list?
Damn.
Dennis, you gotta throw one out there. Before I throw another one out there, because I have another one in my head.
I won't say that it'd be one of my favorites, but people yelled at me for not seeing it, and then I seen it a couple weeks ago for the first time, and that was Akira, the anime movie.
Oh my god, yes, Akira. How did you not? I remember I yelled at you for not watching Akira.
I've seen so much different anime and stuff, and I never watched Akira, and then I was like, wow, I thought it was I thought the bike was gonna be a key part of it, but it wasn't.
Akira is
like a
fucking
key part of the
amazing.
story, and I was like, wow, this is like
Akira.
this kid like obliterated some dudes to the ceiling with into nothing but blood.
Spoilers
Like,
Yeah, dude, come on. I've never seen it.
for like a 20-year-old movie. Whenever Akira came out, I don't remember when it came out, but I remember watching it, and I fucking love Akira.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not throwing
Really
this
good.
on my list, but like, I just want to get this out of the way. Honorable mentions, just the whole MCU.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Like,
yeah.
obviously, that you can't put it
Except
on the
for
list,
Thor:
but
The
like,
Dark
that's
World.
just like a film feat, you know, that whole shit. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
good job.
Like we could do like a whole nother podcast about the MCU.
yeah, that's
should.
what I mean. I'm not putting it on any list, but like,
So
to
should
the
we?
side.
So should we not include any other any MCU movies then? So we can do
I
like a
mean,
whole nother podcast on the MCU.
yeah, I would say don't. That's fair.
Unless it's like really like you're like no, like I think about this movie every day. Then like
Endgame?
Like, I think like the only movie from the MCU that I'd put on there, surprisingly, not Endgame, it'd be Iron Man.
That's
Because I like whenever I watch that movie, it holds up to this day. Like I don't watch that movie and think, "Oh yeah, this was good when it came out." No, this movie is still fucking amazing. And I love that movie. And I will love that movie to the day that I die. So I think if any movie from the MCU should go on this list, if we do, it should be Iron Man.
that's what I'm saying. Like I was down to make an exception. I'm okay with that.
Cause like, I don't know.
I know
probably
all the
sound just
Endgame
like,
jokes are there, but like, I wouldn't put it on the list. But that
See, like,
movie, even like,
Hulk
dude, I woke up the next
2008.
day. I was like, did my friend die? It was like so sad. I was like, loss. Like,
and like the thing
super
about
upsetting.
Endgame is too. I think it's still too like new. It's like so we're still in the honeymoon phase with Endgame.
That's fair.
That's
so
fair.
like
Yeah.
Watch it again
Like,
in a year. See if
when
you hate it.
Endgame first came out, I was like, "Oh fuck, end all be all. This is my favorite MCU movie of all time." And then I watched Iron Man again, and I'm like, "Jesus Christ, this movie is like far beyond." Like I realized, like, oh, I'm just loving Endgame because it's the current Marvel movie out. But I'm not taking away from it. I'm not
Winter
taking away
Soldier
from
was
it.
your favorite.
Winter Soldier is still one of my all-time favorites. But what I'm saying is like watching something older than Endgame made me realize that I only love Endgame so much right now is because it's the most current Marvel movie out. And I'm not taking away from Endgame because Endgame is fucking phenomenal and that movie should not have happened, but I'm so happy it did. It's just
the
like
thing that like the
it's a
thing
honeymoon
that gets me
phase.
hung up on Endgame is that like it's a superhero movie, and I like ugly cried during that movie.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying.
I
Like,
was in the
Dude, me
theaters
too.
and I like my dad was looking at I went with my dad. My dad was looking at me at points like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I was like, like I was fucked up. You know what I mean? So I like look back. I'm like, yeah, like it is fresh, but like, bro, I cried like 6 times
Yeah.
while I watched that shit.
I saw that movie 6 times opening weekend.
It hurt me. Like, God,
I saw it
damn.
6 times.
I've only
6
seen it
times opening
twice.
weekend, and the same 4 parts made me cry every
Yeah.
single time. And I knew they were coming, and they still made me cry. It's like I'm sitting there in the theater like the 5th time, and I'm just like, he said, "Avengers assemble!" And I just
Yeah.
start bawling, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude! Like that movie is a magic trick. And I'm happy it happened, but I still think it's a honeymoon phase. Like, give me a year. Come back, like in a year, if we're still talking about it, I will let you know how I feel on a game. I'm pretty sure I'll still love
Spider-Man
it.
comes out in like
2 weeks.
dude, Spider-Man's out in like 3 weeks. 2 weeks?
I know,
2
I'm
weeks.
I'm so excited.
Dude, I'm on
I'm
top
thinking-
of that shit. I'm
But
like,
then we
thinking
have like a year before we get another movie.
I know it's insane. Like Spider-Man, and then like we don't know
Nothing.
what.
For like so long.
The only thing we know
won't know
right
till
now.
August.
The only thing we know right now is that Black Widow is in production.
Like what? That's all we know. Yeah, people are saying Doctor Strange 2, and then they
that was-
started casting for
I'm
Eternals.
really
was
excited for
confirmed.
that, actually.
Doctor Strange 2 was. Was I talking to Rob? Was I talking to you, Rob? Where I said Doctor Strange is one of the most underrated MCU movies?
I think so.
That's a super good movie.
I can agree with that.
So good.
It is pretty underrated, but
any,
it's
like,
one of the best solo
sequels?
films.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any sequels you guys are more excited for than like the next phase, so to speak, like than like the Eternals and like more cosmic entities and stuff like that? Is there any stuff that we already know that you're like, I just want to see more of that?
Spider-Man.
Guardians
Spider-Man.
3?
Guardians,
Spider-Man,
okay.
definitely.
But yeah, Spider-Man hasn't got enough time to himself.
Exactly.
Well, supposedly for Guardians, we're only getting one more movie with that cast.
Thank
So
God.
That's annoying.
interesting.
Well, James Gunn said that the way he envisioned Guardians of the Galaxy, like his movies, was a trilogy. Is he imagined 1, Volume 2, and then Volume 3. And that was his trilogy with that cast, with those characters. And now that Thor's going to be in it, I don't know if he had... I don't... Well, I mean, he joined the Guardians of the Galaxy at the end of Endgame, spoiler alert. So, like, he's going to be in it, clearly. He's with them. Like, what are they going to say? Oh, Thor just took off while we were in space. Where the fuck did he go? They're not just going to do that.
Anyone who didn't see Endgame after a month at max isn't really a fan of Marvel.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that because
I'm still deleting
an
spoilery comments in my chat right now. Direct spoiler comments.
My sister hasn't seen
involving you know who. You know.
And
Oh, we're not supposed to talk about that? I have a shirt that says otherwise.
yeah, no, my sister still
Just slide down in your chair a little bit.
No, gotta go like this. Don't look at
my sister is just super busy with life, and she has a baby. She hasn't even seen Infinity War, but she knows what happened, and she wants to see Infinity War before she sees Endgame, but she just hasn't had the time because she's super busy. So I can't I wouldn't say that anybody who hasn't seen it yet isn't a fan. It's just some people are busy.
Yeah.
It was my same argument for Infinity War last year.
I mean, I don't know if this movie, it's not MCU related, but if it hits me because I'm a fan, it probably hits Rob a little too, maybe. But I was gonna say Mortal Kombat, even though it's a video game movie.
We don't talk about those. No.
Like
Change your option.
I feel like that movie is like a guilty pleasure.
I love that movie.
I feel like it's
I have the Blu-ray.
Movie.
I just love that movie.
I feel like it's a guilty pleasure
so
movie.
someone in my chat is trying to tell me that there are only 3 characters from the Marvel comics that have not been in the movies.
That's not true.
Pretty sure, or at least hundreds.
Hold on. Wait a second.
You got
Besides
all the Eternals,
bad
you got
guys?
all the Celestials.
Oh, except for bad guys. So all the good guys, quote unquote. But there's so many like ambiguous characters that's like, who are you? Like you were good at this.
I can think
even
of
Thanos
4
is, like,
characters.
in the comics. You can't like.
I can
that's
give
not
you
a thing you can really say. That's tough.
I can give you 5 characters right now that have not been yet.
5 good guys, like
Adam Warlock, right?
Ghost Rider,
Moon Knight, Ghost Rider. That's 3.
Ghost Rider has a movie, but is he in the?
But it's not an
MCU?
MCU movie. It's not an MCU movie. No.
Okay.
And neither is Blade.
Yeah.
So there's 4. I mean, granted.
Elektra, Daredevil, Netflix.
I was just gonna go with the Fantastic Four.
Technically speaking, Daredevil is in the MCU because those shows take place in the MCU. So I wouldn't say Daredevil because that show takes place in the MCU. It's the same universe.
Then technically, Ghost Rider is part of the MCU.
Yeah, because he was an Agents of Shield.
Oh,
yeah,
that's what I was saying.
And he's getting his own show on Hulu.
Oh, I just want him to have a movie.
No, you know. He's got 3 of them.
Like, so many. He just said mic drop like he proved us wrong.
No. The Microverse. There's a whole list of characters in there. Moon Knight.
The Spider-Verse.
Moon Knight, who is heavily underrated. He is one of my favorite anti-heroes of all time. And everybody's like, oh, he's just Marvel's Batman. No, Batman doesn't have fucking multiple personality disorder. Fuck off.
Iron Fist. Give me an Iron Fist movie.
Iron Fist is in the MCU, jackass.
Well,
Granted, it's not a
movie.
granted it's not a good Iron Fist, but it's an Iron Fist.
They can't
No, Iron
be
Fist.
like they can't be
No,
filmed.
I meant-
It has to be paper only. This is like the
I
condition.
meant-
Moon Knight,
meant
the
to say
Microverse,
Nova. I meant to say
Eternity,
Nova.
Eternity,
Nova.
Well, Nova's technically in the MCU. He just hasn't been like
No.
activated. you
The
know what I
Nova
mean?
core is in the MCU, but not.
But
Nova
even his
himself.
character, like his human rendition of his character, is there, right?
But he hasn't been introduced.
That's what I mean. He
because-
hasn't been activated. He just has been his human self, just like running around.
Yeah, but I listed four.
John C. Reilly plays him, right?
No, not John C. Reilly. Not John
Who
C.
does
Reilly.
John C. Reilly play?
I don't remember what his name was. I just remember
People
that
were
Glenn
saying
Close was
this.
Nova Prime.
People were saying, and I agree with this, when they make a Nova movie, which they should, how did Thanos get that Power Stone? You know, they could show that it was the Power Stone, right?
No,
He does-
Or was that the Space Stone?
No, he got the
no,
Power
the
Stone
Mind
from.
Stone.
No, Mind Stone was his vision. The Power Stone is on Xandar.
The one that he got from Xandar,
It's the Power Stone.
people were saying it'd be cool if like they showed something with Nova like being there or something and seeing that
Oh yeah, the Mind Stone was
type of thing happening.
Yeah.
Because they didn't
Maybe.
show that in the movie. Could be
Maybe.
something for the future, to where we still
That
see
could be
Thanos
like-
again.
No,
'Cause
but
I feel
anyways,
like
to that guy,
even though Thanos-
I listed the Microverse, Moon Knight, fucking Blade.
Okay, so let's go through this list right now.
Eternity, who is like the Tribunal, which is like Marvel's version of God. The Living Tribunal, that's what it's called. Which is Marvel's version of God.
Is that
They've
the, is that
mentioned
the,
him, but he hasn't made an appearance.
Is
So
that
we're
his-
already passing a lot of people. So here's a list of Marvel good guys. So Amadeus Cho, Ant-Man, Scott Lang, we already have him. Armor, Beast, Beta Ray Bill, so
Oh.
Black Bolt,
Beta Ray Bill?
Black Bolt is
Blue
in it.
Marvel,
He's an Inhuman.
Bombshell. Obviously Cable's in there. Cannonball, Captain Britain,
Captain
Charlie
Britain.
27, Demolition Man,
Canada.
Dead Girl, Dupe,
Squirrel Girl.
Dragon Man,
Ironheart.
Dum Dum
Ironheart.
Dugan,
Dum Dum
Phantom
Dugan.
X,
Dum Dum Dugan sounds like
Flash
an 80s Marvel comic
Thompson,
name.
Frogman, Genus Vel, Gwen Stacy, Havoc, Hercules, Honey Badger,
All you gotta say is tell them to
Hulkling,
play the Ultimate Alliance games.
Hyperion,
Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 have so many heroes in them.
Iron
I-
Fist.
I feel like he was trying to say something like he was just wording it differently. Like he was trying to say like maybe like A-list characters that
Maybe.
they haven't used yet. That there's only a couple more left, but
Well, he said something about small time comic spin-offs, but like that just comes down to who is relevant in like your life. You know what I mean?
exactly. 'Cause,
Like
what
whoever
I was
you
about to
remember
say-
being a big like every kid from this generation from the MCU is gonna think that Iron Man is the tits. But
That's
like
what I'm
if
saying.
you look
I was
back, like a lot
literally
of people
about to
didn't
say.
focus on Iron Man back in the days. He was not
Iron
like
Man-
a prevalent person. So
He was a D-list superhero until his movie came out. Nobody gave a fuck about Iron Man. Marvel was all about Spider-Man, Captain America, the Hulk. Those are like Iron Man was nowhere near like
there
their
are a
top
lot of
list of
spin-offs
characters.
He
in
didn't
there.
even-
And no,
he-
no,
he
Tom,
didn't
no,
even-
no. Wait. He's getting something confused. Okay, he's thinking. So you guys have all heard the fact about how every MCU character was in the last fight in Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he started this off, and I had to correct him. He started this off by saying there are only 3 MCU characters that have not been used, and I was like, not been used in what? And he's like, in the movies, and I'm like, MCU stands for Marvel Cinematic Universe. So you're saying there's 3 movie characters that haven't been used in the movies, and then he said from comics to movies. So this just comes back to that mistake, Tama, which is the characters that were in the last fight were all the characters from the MCU.
hmm
Even Howard the Duck was there.
I was literally
Yeah.
about to say Howard
And
fucking
Howard the Duck
was
had
there.
already been introduced in the MCU.
Mhm.
There were no new introductions in that fight. No one we haven't seen before in the other movies.
No like main characters.
Yep.
There's a bunch of background characters, but they don't fucking matter.
Well, are they named or are they just extras?
No, they're just extras.
Yeah. If you can get me names of the spin-offs that were in there, Thomas, then we can discuss that. But as of right now, I'm pretty sure.
If this guy shows me a screenshot of Moon Knight in that fight, I'll suck his
wrong.
Shit, is that all it takes?
We're going to Pride Toronto this weekend. If you want to meet us at Union,
I'm saying he sends me that screenshot, I'll buy my plane ticket right now.
It's too damn late for me to look for this info again. Well, unfortunately, friend, when it comes to an argument like this, the person presenting the controversial fact, the burden of evidence falls on them. So you're gonna have to take an L on this one, dude.
I guess you're not getting your dick sucked. Sorry, buddy.
Well, not by you. Don't worry.
Not by me, anyways. Maybe by somebody else. Good luck. Hopefully you do.
That is.
I got
unfortunate though. That was a cool topic. I would have liked to have learned more.
Mm-hmm.
If you can show me another day, Tama, then I'll bring it back up to all these fucking nerds in here. Okay?
I got two really good movies.
We prefer pop culture enthusiasts.
Yeah, you fucking nerd.
I mean, so he just said what's fun about this is I just triggered 4 nerds about this LMAO, but really what you did is got 4 people that got together to talk about things, to talk about something. So
yeah, no, I'm not triggered at all. I'm not upset.
Good job, I guess.
Fucking fuming.
Bro, you got us to talk, man.
Yeah.
Heck.
You got us to talk on a podcast? That's insane.
That's crazy. It's
Holy
undone.
Shit. It's almost like we were doing that before.
Tama got us, guys.
Damn.
Does anyone have like a wah 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 wah?
Starts playing the fucking. God damn it! What's the show? What's the end credits from the show that's used as a meme now? The dun-dun-dun-dun. Is it Parks and Recs? Is it Parks and Recs the ending of that show? That their theme music is used as like a meme now?
I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what show it's from.
Fuck, it's not Parks and Recs. What is it? Son of a bitch. Go ahead, Dennis. What are your 2 movies?
Oh, I was gonna say I don't know whether one of them might be in top 5, top 10, probably top 10. But I'll mention 2 really good movies, and that's both Predator, the first one, and the first Alien movie. Just both of those.
Now,
they're both
this
just
is
so amazing.
This is taking me by surprise because I don't think I've ever watched a horror movie with you besides like slasher movies, which slasher movies aren't good. So
I mean, I don't know
really
if I consider them horror. Predator and Alien.
Predator and Alien are. Alien is definitely horror.
Well, I guess, yeah. Predator not as much, though.
Unless you're talking about Aliens, which Aliens, the sequel is not a horror movie. The original is definitely a horror movie.
Even like the games made after it are in the horror genre, right?
Oh yeah,
just
yeah,
like sci-fi horror.
Yeah,
like that's the one thing Alien and all of its sequels. That's the one thing Alien and all its sequels have been like stayed true to is the fact that it's a horror movie first, and then there's a subgenre of it. Besides Aliens is just a fucking action movie. Fucking love that movie. But yeah, no, I would definitely give you. I don't know if I'd give you Predator only because I'm not that big of a fan of Predator. I'd definitely give you Alien. For sure.
I like Predator more than Alien.
That's fucked up. That's fucked
up. I'm sorry, I do, but I love the original one with Arnold, and then Predators is okay. I mean, I'd put it second best. Some people like Predator 2 more, but anyone I heard sucked. I haven't watched it because I just didn't care, even as a fan.
What was it called? The Predator? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't get why all these like horror movie, like the new horror movie reboot sequels come out and they just have to take the same name as the original. Like Halloween, which first of all, the 2018 Halloween was fucking amazing. I love that movie. And then The Predator. I'm pretty sure there's going to be another Friday the 13th reboot coming out. That's just going to be called
Terminator.
Friday the 13th. Yeah, Terminator. Well, I mean, Terminator has a subtitle on it. At least it's not. At least it's not just
for the new one, but
No, I don't. I do not give a fuck about the Terminator series anymore. I stopped caring. I saw the fucking shitty one with Christian Bale, and then Gen Ysis came out, and I was like, yeah, I wasn't right. I was right.
Wait, Christian Bale was in a Terminator movie?
Yeah. What was it called? No, he was in Terminator Salvation.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It was terrible, dude.
That was the fourth one they made, which, yeah.
I don't remember. Like, the only ones I care about are Terminator and Judgment Day. It's the only two I care about.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of people, too. I mean,
what's the third one called? What's the subtitle?
I don't even remember.
Terminator 3, Arnold's back, because he keeps saying that in every fucking reboot. He keeps saying that in every fucking...
reason why with the... I mean, if what's her face? I forget her name. That's in the new one from 1 and 2. If she can carry the movie and the story, I don't know. I don't know if she could hold up the movie.
I don't want her to carry the movie. I just want it to be a good movie, and I know it's not going to. The CGI.
Well, how do you know when they got the producer and the and the
producer? You mean did you mean James Cameron, the man who also took shit on the MCU for having so many sequels and having so many movies, and is coming out with fucking Avatars 3 through 9? He's already written Avatars 4, 5, 6, 7.
All right. To be fair, it's not hard to write an
5.
Avatar movie.
No, he has written up to 5, but he said he has sequels planned. I think for up to 8 Avatar movies.
No, it's whatever.
He has Avatars 2, 3, 4, and 5 all written and are in his.
If he really thinks that Avatar 2 is going to make the money that Avatar 1 did, then he's going to be sorely mistaken.
Especially because the movie's been delayed 4 times now. I think actually.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, either way, Disney's making money, but I mean.
I found a new podcast that I've been listening to.
Is it this one? The Ginsuu podcast?
Yeah, dude.
Wow, dropping competitor advertisement in the middle of the podcast.
Are you plugging your own podcast on your podcast?
Are you plugging another podcast?
No. I didn't say the name. I just said I've been listening to a podcast.
Oh man.
I've been listening to a podcast.
Is it the Joe Rogan podcast?
It's not the Joe Rogan. I'm sorry. I think I've told you this before. I cannot sit through Joe Rogan's podcast. I can't sit through 3 hours of people talking. An hour I can do. 3 hours and 3 to 5 hours long. I can't.
Not
do it.
all.
I don't even watch.
He has shorter ones.
I should probably check out the
watch
shorter ones.
podcasts. I mainly I watch stuff on movies and stuff. I watch Collider. I watch John Campea, the Schmoes, and some others talk about movies and stuff. But they split up. They'll have the regular one and then they'll split it up into the clips of which one on YouTube you want to watch. So
see, I just mainly I listen to podcasts while I'm at work because I work midnight, so I rarely get any customers. So
yeah, it did go slower.
Back to the point I was making. I was listening to a podcast, not a specific podcast, a podcast, Matt. Since you think I'm plugging, I'm not plugging.
Yeah, I just got my boys back. That's all right?
So
I appreciate it.
It started back in 2015, and I'm up to the episodes that are in 2016, and they were talking about the first time that James Cameron pushed back Avatar 2. So 2016 is where it all started, when he started pushing the movie back. So, whatever.
Sounds like Attack on Titan.
I haven't watched that series. I haven't watched season 2 yet. I know everybody's raving about season 3.
I just watched the new episode today, but I mean, I watch every new episode of everything, so that's anime.
There's another new episode? I thought season 3 was over.
No, they're on part 2 of season 3. They started 2 months ago.
Yeah. No, I know that, but I thought it ended with the last episode from last week. It had a different outro and everything.
No, there was a new one.
I have to check something. 1 second.
They're not done yet. They still got 4 more or something. I don't know, maybe more. 4 or 5, something along those lines.
Why do I feel like
Crunchyroll fucking lied to me.
Why do I feel like season 1 was like so long? Season 2 was like what? How long is season 2? How many
Season
episodes?
2 was short for sure, like 12, I think.
How long has season 3 been so far?
Well, they split it into 2 parts, so it's like as long as season 1, or maybe a little bit longer.
So like 20
I
something.
thought the
episodes.
basement was the last episode of the season.
Nope.
Oh my god. I was so frustrated because
Okay.
without any spoilers, what they found wasn't anything at the end of that episode. So I was like, that's
Yeah,
how
you're
they're
right.
ending it?
But
Again?
So-
bad.
yeah, the newest episode, I won't say anything, obviously, but it seemed a little slow to me at first, but then towards the end, you realize how important it is to like the origin of like Titans and stuff. And I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, don't
That's
spoil
crazy that
anything
there's
because
another
I'm
episode.
eventually gonna pick up.
On a totally unrelated note, I suddenly have to go. I'll see you guys later.
Dude,
Just gonna-
Donovan, you got so much anime to catch up on.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy.
When I start caring, I'll let you know.
Like there's Attack on Titan, Hunter x Hunter, Mob Psycho 100 season 2, One Punch Man season 2, which only has 2 more episodes left, I think. What else? I don't know. I could give you a list probably of more.
You're just making me tired You're just making me tired and you're just making me want to
Have
take
you
a
watched
nap
Space
while
Dandy
watching
before?
it.
Space
Space
Dandy's
what?
great.
No, I've
Space
never watched
Dandy.
Space Dandy. No, I've never watched Space Dandy.
Dude, it's funny.
Yeah, I'll add it to the list.
Do not watch list.
How big's that list? You got like 20 things on there or more?
No, I tend to keep like maybe 5 to 6 things on there. Because right now,
I don't have a list right now.
right now,
Because I'm
well, I mean, Space Dandy's on there now. I've never watched any girl.
Hunter x Hunter.
Hunter x Hunter's on there.
Pokemon, the anime.
Yeah, I'll add that on there. I actually hate the Pokemon anime.
Dude,
You gotta
I
catch
do
up on
too.
Black Clover too, dude. Black Clover gets so good.
Black Clover was on that list, but then I started watching it, so I took.
I like it more than My Hero. They're both in my top 5, but
Whoa!
Black Clover's above My Hero for me, dude.
Whoa!
Can I say something
sorry.
really controversial?
You don't like
You don't
anime?
like My Hero?
No, I love anime.
He was just talking about.
I think Black
Attack on
Hero
Titan.
is a substanceless piece of trash anime.
Black Hero.
I fucking hate it.
Which
Holy
one?
shit!
Black
He's like-
Hero.
Black Clover, sorry. I said the wrong thing. Black Clover. I think it's so bad. I don't like there's like no proper progression whatsoever.
It's respectable.
It's just
I
like
think I'm like.
I mean,
I've been watching a lot of it. I was watching it while I was waiting for season 3 of Attack on Titan to come back, and like it just sometimes at the end of the episode, like I'd just be like, what the fuck? What am I watching? I couldn't get into it, and I know that it's like really lit right now. Like a lot of people are super into Black Clover,
yeah.
so like I don't want to
Oh,
be
yeah.
that guy to
I
be
am.
like, fuck that anime, but I can't with it sometimes. Like some episodes, I'm like, when there's actual like action and stuff, I'm like, okay, the fight's
Oh, yeah.
pretty cool. But like, so much stuff gets like left behind. Like they'll bring up like
That's-
abilities that characters have, and then they never use that ability ever again. And it's like, wow, that thing that you did in like episode 4 would be really useful right now. Too bad you don't do that anymore. Like,
The way you feel about
So
Black
annoying.
Clover is reminding me of the way I feel about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
oh,
I didn't
don't
get
bring
into
that
that
up.
one
No,
either.
that's my second favorite anime of all time.
Like,
don't roast it. No.
All right,
I'm
let's
not
roast it
roasting
so I
it.
can
I'm
clip
not-
it and send it to Jocelyn.
I'm not roasting it. I told Dennis this. I told Jocelyn. I watched season 1. That's all I needed to watch. I found out that I
Like
don't like it.
part 1,
Yes,
or part 1 and part 2,
Whatever.
because-
It's a fucking season.
because that's season 1.
Part 1. Whatever.
Well,
I
season
don't
1's
care.
part 1 and 2.
Oh
Because
my
part
God.
3 and 4 and 5 are longer.
I don't care. I watched part 1 and I didn't like it, so I stopped watching it. And everybody
Well,
shits on.
it's not only part 1 is like the vampire aspect thing. And then it like totally changes.
I don't care.
Like things go different.
I just didn't
Not
like
to
it.
mention once you get to part 3, when you get to part 3, stands come in, which those are way better. Like it just gets way better when you get to part 3. But whatever, not for everybody.
Yeah,
What
I'm-
animes do you
It's-
guys like love that ended too short? One I can mention. that
Hunter
ended
Hunter
really
Hunter
short.
and Bleach.
Hunter.
Well, it wasn't
Hunter x
short.
Hunter.
Never mind.
I didn't like
Never
the
mind, they're
ending
not
of it,
short,
but it
but-
was like very long. Yeah, I was thinking ones that ended like
Yeah.
Dead Man's Wonderland, I think is what it's called. Have you guys ever seen that one?
I haven't seen that one.
It's like
I haven't seen
it's
that.
like super short. It's like 10 episodes, but it's really intriguing.
Fuck, dude. I can't think of any from my head.
That I
'Cause
really
feel like
like.
it's happened to me a couple times. Hunter x Hunter is probably
Huh.
my second favorite anime, by the way. I just think that
Yeah, it's
my God.
it's top Bleach for me. It's in my number 6 spot.
I think it's like I really got attached to those characters.
I don't think it definitely didn't end too short because fucking hell, this anime was the ending anime, and
Hunter?
no, not Hunter. I've never watched
Oh.
Hunter. Fucking Naruto. I hate the ending of Naruto. Pisses me off. Not the Naruto versus Sasuke fight, but the fucking Kaguya thing. I hate it. Pisses me off. I don't know if
Yeah,
Rob,
Kaguya. Yeah.
she like I've told you the reason that Kaguya exists, right? Like
Me?
the reason that she happened.
No.
It's the stupidest bullshit in the world. So
It's actually stupid in general because technically by them beating her, it's basically like, oh, they killed a god, so what's the point in continuing the series when they beat the biggest of all bad ever?
that's what I'm saying.
You know?
But like this was the reason Kaguya was created was because the creator of Naruto, he said that he made Madara so strong that they didn't know how Naruto and Sasuke were going to beat him. But then they can beat the character that beat Madara. That doesn't make any sense. It's bullshit. I hated it. It was so stupid.
You're not wrong.
The stupid ending in an anime. The Naruto vs Sasuke fight at the end is the best fights of all time.
I
But
forget how.
Jesus
Actually, no.
Christ.
This
That
series
ending.
ended on the weirdest kind of thing because I think the main character. I don't know if you've seen it, but Death Note. I mean, I thought maybe we all have, but
I
I
love
don't know if
Death
Rob
Note.
has.
I've seen
But I'm saying it was
some of
short
it.
and it's just super good, and the way it like ended was like confusing. Not really, but I
Really
wanted more
abrupt,
of like
though.
I wanted more with Ryuk and where he came from. You know, that kind of thing. I guess
The story wasn't.
But
The
I
story
know
wasn't about
that was the
Ryuk.
end.
The story's not about Ryuk.
Yeah.
That's the reason you didn't get to see that. Ryuk's a side character.
It's still my top 10 favorite anime. Actually, it might be in number 11 for me. I don't know. Attack on Titan might have took the number 10 spot now.
Attack on Titan's number 1 for me. I'm a sucker for that anime. I fucking love it.
I
That one
can't
makes
blame
me
you.
cry,
Season 3
too.
is freaking crazy, dude.
Yeah,
Season
second part of
3
season 3 has been making me cry a lot. Oh my
Dude,
god, the last
yeah.
again without spoilers, but the last
insane.
episode, holy shit, I was stressed, dude. I had anxiety. I was like, no, this can't happen.
You're like,
this
no,
can't
no, no,
happen.
no,
And then it didn't happen, but like at first I was like, oh, it can't happen. No.
Oh, dude, I was getting emotional too. I was
Tears
almost
like
tearing
down
up.
my face. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know if
I
I
get
can.
worked up, man.
I don't know if I can think of a top 10 anime.
Dude, I don't even
Have you
think I've
watched 10
seen.
anime, Donovan?
Yeah, no, I've definitely watched 10 anime. I just don't know if I could.
also hate really long animes because I want to watch them, but they're overwhelming. Like One Piece
One
is like
Piece?
something that just
Oh
looms
my
over me.
God.
Everyone's like, watch it, and I'm like, I don't have a year of my life to give up. I'm sorry. Like, fuck.
A year? It would take you like
Yeah.
3 years to
Yeah,
get
I
through
can't
One
just quit
Piece.
everything and watch
Holy
this.
shit.
What the fuck?
Like,
And they're
I
like,
mean,
it's really
even,
good,
like-
and I'm like, that's what I'm afraid of. Because if it is really good, then I'm not
Well-
watching anything else or doing
oh
anything
my
else.
god, like, I
Okay.
know.
One Piece.
God, dude.
One Piece is the only one that I haven't actually fully given the full chance because I decided not to. I've watched bits and pieces of episodes on Toonami every Saturday. Like I'll see when they had it on Toonami. I watched some of it, but like it's like 900 episodes and counting. So
And still going.
Yeah, like it's not getting
I mean,
shorter, right?
granted-
Like I'm not.
No,
the longer
granted-
I wait.
It's
granted,
just gonna
I
get
finished
worse.
like Hunter. Yeah. Like Hunter x Hunter and Bleach and stuff, I binged those within like a month tops, and I could probably binge One Piece so fast, but I really don't want to.
I was watching Hunter
It would
when
take
it
me
came out, and like
a while. But
I fucking like
I
took a
wish
week
I
off
was.
of it, or like 2 weeks off or something, and I came back and like watched a couple episodes, and then it was over, and I didn't realize that I watched like the last episode, and then I was waiting for the next one to come
Yeah.
out, and then I was super upset.
Yeah.
So that
Mhm.
that should give you
Dude,
an idea of how like abrupt that one.
I know,
ended. It was
I know, not spoiling anything, but towards the end of the series, when like Gon is like really angry and stuff, like I'm sure you know what I mean.
Yeah.
No
That
spoilers. No spoilers. I'm gonna
crazy,
watch it eventually.
crazy stuff, dude.
I'm gonna watch it
Crazy
eventually.
To me, the final arc.
They
was the
had
best
some
arc, but
crazy
it is
arcs in
different.
that anime, like
Yeah.
crazy, like out of left field, like what the fuck, and then it just worked, like.
Yeah. And the last arc was like, wait, what's happening? How does
Yeah,
this
what are you
start
talking
like this?
about? Like,
Yeah.
but
Like,
also at the
made no
same, it was
sense
like,
at first.
it was like, what are you talking about? But also, go on.
Yep. Yep.
Just willing to listen to more, but like, I know this is crazy, but go on.
You know, one of my. You know,
I like
I'm
how we
thinking
just flipped over from our favorite movies to anime.
You know what I'm thinking about now? Because you guys are talking about like your favorite anime. Do you know one of all time?
Huh.
Cowboy Bebop.
Huh.
Cowboy fucking Bebop.
Never seen
Cowboy fucking Bebop.
I mean, it's nothing
So
like in my top 15 or
fucking
but,
good.
like-
So good. Spike is one of the best anime characters of all fucking time. Cowboy
I mean, not in
Bebop
my
is
eyes, but
Cowboy Bebop is on another level. For me, anyways. Cowboy Bebop, Yu Yu Hakusho, Inuyasha. I'm thinking about it. Like, I think I just like really.
What do you guys think about like Sword Art?
I love it.
I like Donovan.
I don't know how I feel
The
about
first
it.
one was like
it's like
really good.
I like the first one.
I really don't like
The first
I
one
feel-
I actually separated into like two animes for myself though. Like the first one, if you think about, because it's like two games in the first one, right? So it's like it's almost like one season and then another season, even though it's all just one season.
Yeah, I just watched season 1. I like it.
Season 2 is like hit or miss.
So this is
No
getting
pun
into
intended.
like some controversial stuff, but I remember reading a story about the creators of Sword Art. There was apparently some sexual allegations going around about
Yikes.
about the people who worked on that anime and like sexually abusing. I don't remember. I don't want to say anything because I don't know exactly what happened, so I don't fucking slander anybody. But I remember hearing stuff about that, and I was like, I'm the type of person, I can't separate art from the artist. So if something happens and if somebody's accused of something and it's proven true, I don't follow that person at all. I will not listen to any of their works if they're musicians. I won't watch anything if they're a show creator. So when I heard that, it like completely like ruined Sword Art for me. And I was like, I'm not watching it. I don't want to watch it. I have no interest in watching it. If you watch it, cool. I just have no interest in it. But I heard like, and it seemed like most of the stuff was true. So I wasn't just like, whatever happened for sure. I'm like, I don't know for sure. It's just at the time when I read it and there's a lot of like evidence, I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to make my own decision here and I'm just not going to watch it. So that's how I look at Sword Art. I don't remember exactly. I'm going to have to look it up tonight.
I'm like the complete opposite myself. I choose to always separate art from the artist, and
I'm
objectively
envious
look
of it.
at what they created, so.
I wish I could. It's
I
just
get it.
the type of person I am is like, because when I like something, I dive deep into it. So I get personal with it. Like I'll like invest my time into somebody's career. If I find out like somebody, you know, did something disgusting like that, it fucking ruins everything for me. I can't like I can never listen to somebody's music. Like to give you an example, one of my favorite bands, Brand New, or they were one of my favorite bands. There was sexual allegations that came out about the lead singer having sex with minors, with groupies from his shows. And I found out and it came out as true. And I was like, no, I can't do it. Like, I don't think I could ever. Like, and then same thing happened with like a bunch of YouTubers that I watched. Like, I don't know if you guys follow anybody in the community. Shit went down a couple fucking months ago because there was Matt, you're probably a lot fucking than I am because you have a personality online. But I don't know if did you ever hear about the Nintendo Decora situation?
No.
So
I've heard about like plenty of sketchy YouTuber stuff.
So Nintendo Decoder
from the
was,
Minecraft community abroad. You know what I mean? Like
Wait a
Nintendo
minute.
Decoder was he was a Twitch streamer and a YouTuber, and basically shit came out where he was forcibly manipulating people into relationships with him and threatening not only their lives but the family lives to get pictures from them and all this shit, and while the person was underage. So that happened, and then the community, like when that happened, the Pokemon community looked at all of his friends who streamed with him, like spent time with him personally, and they were like, well, there's no way in hell you guys didn't know this.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, a lot of the community came up and was like, yeah, you know what, our bad. I knew about this and I thought I could fix this person. I thought I could fix them and make them a better person, and I realized that I was in the wrong and I should have went to the police when I knew what happened. So a lot of people were like that, and then there was a couple people who were like, no, we never knew anything. Like there was one instance we knew about, and we took his ass out and we took him aside in a Discord chat and we roasted the shit out of him, and we thought it was over at that point. We did not know anything about this. Yeah. And one of those people was a YouTuber. Technically, he was at the time, he was the biggest Pokemon YouTuber. His name was The King Nappy, and it was somebody that I looked up to him. Like he was one of my favorite YouTubers of all time. I watched his content daily. Everything he uploaded I loved, and it came out that not only did he know about this, but he was also doing it. He manipulated a 16-year-old who lived in Scotland into a relationship with him by saying, if you don't do this, I'm going to blacklist you from the community. You'll lose all of your friends. Nobody's going to like you. And then he did it to another person who was not underage, but still, it's wrong to do that. Like, don't fucking do that.
I mean, the underage thing is just another layer, right?
Exactly. And like people were trying to justifying it by saying the legal age in England is 16, and I'm like, the legal age here is 18, and he is a resident of the United States.
So just come here and
exactly, like it was discussed. So like when I found
certain
that
things
out,
you have to assimilate to, you know what I mean?
Exactly. When I found that out,
laws.
like it blew my mind. Like I looked up to somebody who did all this disgusting shit, and I can't do it, dude. I can't separate art from the artist. Like I don't.
Well, I was gonna say, I feel like sometimes the art matters, right? Like if you're sitting there listening, like the art that the person does is their YouTube channel where they give you life advice, or like where you really look up to them as like an idol.
Oh,
and, like, their character
for sure.
and stuff like that. That's like, well, I kind of don't want to look up to a pedophile for like character advice and stuff like that. But like, if some guy like takes paint and like splatters it on a canvas and then hangs it in a museum, and then you find out that he's a pedophile, it's like, does that make his painting bad?
No, but it kind of. I think it like for most people.
So like to that point, I think like the type of art can be like pretty objectively like destroyed by the actions of the artist one way or another, right? Like sometimes it's just not like in the case of like an anime or something, like if you're writing an anime and you do terrible things on the side, and again, I'm not pressuring you to accept someone or something in one way or the other. I'm just portraying a different point of view to it. If you do something terrible on the side, but you write your anime about something completely different and you don't like involve any of that, right? Because again, there could be another scenario where some of the things you start writing into your books or into your anime or into your manga or whatever is like, dude, that's kind of like sketchy shit. Why is he writing this shit? And then you find out he's doing sketchy shit in real life, right? That would be a different case. But like if they're completely separated, then I don't think that like, again, then the art has been like destroyed by the actions of the artist in that circumstance. So those are like the times when I'm really able to just separate and be like, all right, he's a fuck boy, but like I'm gonna like enjoy what's here and what's been given to the public.
I think what it is for me and people like me who can't separate art, I think it just leaves like it's a bad taste in type of thing. Where if I'm enjoying this, I feel really bad, and I don't want to feel bad. I hate feeling bad. So like if I'm watching something that I know that somebody did something fucked up, and it makes me feel like a shit human being, I'm not like I don't want to feel like. So I'm not gonna watch it, and I'm not saying like, oh, you should always separate art from the artist. If you can watch it, that's totally like I'm envious. Like if you can still find enjoyment in it, personally, I can't. So
I need to ask something then.
what?
Just wondering with you, Dragon Ball Super Broly. I don't know if you said you were gonna buy. I don't know if you did or not, but
Yeah.
the whole controversy with the actor. I don't know if that bothered you or anything. I just got over it, and I love the movie to death.
That's why
Broly's
I
awesome.
watched that. That's why I haven't watched that movie still. Because it like I feel like if I watch it, I'm supporting someone who did horrible things to
How
people.
much? See, and this is like another thing. Like, I don't want to sit here and poke at you and like.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. I don't mind.
Like, how much proof does there have to be? Like, do you listen to Michael Jackson's music, or do you like?
No, I've never enjoyed Michael Jackson's music, and was there any really definitive against Michael Jackson? I never really looked into anything because that was just not my era.
I
Like, it
mean,
wasn't
in my personal opinion, I think some of his music's great.
Mhm.
But I also think like, bottom line for that whole scenario, he did admit to sharing a bed with like other people's kids, and there's no fucking reason for you to do that.
Oh yeah, no, that's fucked up. But
if you found out your neighbor was doing that with your kids, you'd beat the shit out of him. So like,
I think
You're right.
you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why everyone's like, well, maybe he touched their dicks. It's like, I don't think that like.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, like
the only thing that
makes it like
the only thing that bothered
good
me
or
with
bad, like it's still objectively bad.
with like the Broly actors is the fact that they just stopped keeping it to themselves. Aside from the guy that voiced Broly, that obviously got blamed. So cool that he kept it to himself, but obviously the rest of the actors kept, on Twitter, kept arguing and stuff over the stuff.
Like
They didn't keep to themselves.
But what that doesn't like if those people are outing that person as a shitty human being, they should do that. Like I don't know if what you're saying, like if these actors, like if they were bashing the dude who voiced Broly on Twitter or whatever, is that what you were saying?
I think I don't know.
I'm
Maybe
not familiar
something like
with
that.
the
Or
scenario. What happened with the?
So the voice actor for Broly in the new Dragon Ball Super, it was recently discovered that he was what was he was like soliciting nudes and groping fans and doing all this shit to people who were coming to meet him at panels and all this nasty shit, and everybody, like, people were telling him like, no, I'm on this, and he was pressuring them and being a genuinely bad human being. So, and it happened, like, people have proof, so it happened. He's clearly, and he was fired. Funimation fired him because they did their own private investigation, so which means they clearly found something. They didn't post anything, so that means they found something. And all they said was, we're not gonna say what we found because we want it to end here. We fired the guy. That's it. So clearly they found something.
Well, did they say they found something, but that they weren't going to say what they found?
They said due to their own private investigation, they are no longer going to be working with said actor.
I think we're in a day and age where like social media pressure can make a company do one thing or another, and if they need an excuse, then their own investigation. You know what I mean? Like,
but it wasn't just that though. There was also fans who came forward with DMs from him saying all this
that's
disgusting
proof.
shit.
That's evidence. That's fine.
Yeah.
But using the company saying that they just changed their mind on this guy.
But
Disney did the same thing recently to a
James Gunn.
A certain James. So.
Oh yeah.
But that's the thing, like the whole James Gunn situation.
His was from over 10 something years ago or something.
But
how
here's
do you
the
feel
thing,
about
like
that scenario.
I don't even recall like what exactly was said.
He was making like like
wasn't it anti-Semitic jokes?
no, like weird.
It was
like,
jokes about
pedophile jokes, you could say, like weird, like jokes about young kids and stuff. Like,
see, I don't even.
it
think
was
there's...
clearly set up like da 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 punchline, like joke.
Yeah, like
It wasn't like a comment that then he claimed was a joke afterwards. It was like, why are you making that joke though?
yeah, exactly. Like I don't like jokes like that. I don't like, even I don't care if they're jokes. I don't like jokes about pedophilia. I don't like jokes about racism. I don't like jokes about misogyny. I don't like jokes that belittle anybody or hurt somebody. I don't like jokes like that. So I will say that people do change over time for sure. James Gunn seems like a very human being.
Like The Expendables was so manly, I fucked the shit out of the little pussy boy next to me. The boys are back in town.
Yeah,
Whoa.
see, that's disgusting. So, like...
laughter is the best medicine. That's why I laugh at people with AIDS.
See, I don't like that. But I will say that because he, like... I'm trying to think of, like... I'm, like, drinking, so this isn't good for me to get into, like, deep shit like this. But...
Like, what?
10 years, I don't think James Gunn is the same person he was 10 years ago. I don't think he has that same sense of humor. If he did, he definitely wouldn't be working in Hollywood. Because of the climate
if he did,
that we're
he
in.
wouldn't have got hired for Suicide Squad like the new one,
and he wouldn't have gotten hired back at Marvel.
Well, maybe he just got like a good PR coach too.
That's
I don't know
also
what
a
he
good
says in
point.
his own house.
Yeah. But I don't want to
look at Ninja. Look at Ninja. Do you think Ninja's a changed man? Or do you think he just got a good PR coach and now he doesn't call kids little shits anymore?
But that's the different. Like, the little shits thing never bothered me. Like, I don't get why people
but
get so
I'm not.
offended.
I wasn't saying like how bad he was. I'm just saying how quickly someone can change their online persona. Yeah. You know what I mean?
The James Gunn.
So like
thing,
James Gunn started blowing up as a director, and all of a sudden he started acting right. Coincidence?
Maybe not.
I bet he's a pretty vulgar guy at a barbecue. You know what I'm saying? Like
I like to see the best in people. It's one of my flaws, and I also think
Again, I'm not judging him because I guess in this scenario I'm devil's advocate because I don't give a fuck about any of those jokes. Like I even like some of them were pretty edgy, but I'd even laugh at some of those, and like that's just my sense of humor. And I don't think that I don't think that making a joke, like obviously when he sat down to write those on the computer, he wasn't like, I think I'm gonna let people know what type of person I am today. You know what I mean? Like he was probably like, what'll make people laugh? Like I'm gonna be a fucking asshole. Like he obviously went into it like trying to be funny, and whether or not that catches some people's funny bones or irks other people the wrong way, like he didn't go into it trying to make a reflection of his character. So I'm not gonna read too much into it and be like, oh, he probably diddles kids on the side. Look at that joke he made. Like, because that's fucking stupid. If I feel like if you have that mindset, then like you can't enjoy comedy whatsoever because every single comedic piece is like large portion fiction, but also banking off of like real life experiences.
Well, that's like kind of what comedy is, though, right? Like seeing how far they can push that line.
Right. So like if you sit there and listen to a guy and you're like, oh, well, after an hour of comedy, I know everything about him and how he lives his life. It's like that's
that's not true.
That's ignorant, right? So like in the same way, we have to understand that I think like our culture's gotten to a place, unfortunately, where like all these social media platforms are everybody's soapbox. You know what I mean? Like I'm standing up today.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm gonna do a comedic performance on my Twitter. Like it's like, dude, you're not a fucking comedian. Like you're not in an auditorium, and that's the thing. They've already proven, actually. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but like when people go to a comedy performance, they're just like ready to laugh. They're like more inclined to laugh because they're going to a thing where they're gonna laugh, and in their head, this guy's gonna come out and make me laugh. The first thing he says is gonna be funny, and like that isn't there on social media. You know what I mean? Like I could be like, man, I'm having a fucking shit day. I want to go see cute dogs on Twitter, and I scroll in and I see one of James Gunn's dickhead comments on Twitter, and all of a sudden I'm more pissed off. So like that's where people like don't realize that like okay, your soapbox isn't necessarily in the right place today. Like
I will admit that I'm heavily at fault there. I am a very, very vocal person on social media.
Oh, me too.
About fucked up things and calling out fucked up things when I see them. Like Facebook. Facebook is probably my most politically charged social media page.
Like I went off about the whole Dr. Disrespect thing on Twitter recently, and like I got berated by a bunch of people, and I was just like one guy was like, "There's no fucking intelligent conversation to be had here." I'm at. Like, I was pissed at people. I was like, "You're being an idiot." Like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I got a message from one of my Facebook air quotes friends, and they messaged me and they're like, "Dude, you have to stop fucking talking about all this shit on on Facebook. It's not making a difference." And I'm like, "Well, with that mindset, it's not going to make a difference."
It's like taking my brain to the gym, man. That's all.
And I'm voicing, I'm expressing myself, and if I bottle it up, then I'm just gonna get angry and I'm gonna lash out. And I don't want to lash out. I want to express myself, and I want to let people know how I feel. And if people message me and they have an issue with that, we can debate it. I love debating with people. I'm not closed-minded. I'm not closed-minded in my ways, saying, "Oh no, if you don't think the way I think, you're wrong." That's not
back
how I
in
am.
my day.
Like I look at all points of view, even points of view that I disagree with. I put myself in people's shoes that I necessarily don't like, and I look at their point of view, and I see where they're coming from.
Your point of view out there isn't like necessarily like being argumentative or whatever.
Exactly.
Like, it's like what we're doing right now. Like you were like, "This is how I enjoy art," and I'm like, "Oh, I enjoy art in a completely different way." Like,
and
let's talk about that.
I totally respect the way you look at art. It's it's totally different from the way I look, and I love
it's
that.
so dumb that people can't do that. It's really frustrating.
Part of being human. We're all fucking different. We're not robots.
Part of being a grown up, actually.
Grown up human.
Ooh, get him, Matt.
Being able to fucking have a conversation without being.
I've seen smarter children. Than adults who are like, no, people are different. Everybody has different opinions. They don't always have to look at everything the same.
Like the whole like no politics or religion talk. Like I get when people borrow those things, but like that's just so that children don't get upset in my mind. You know what I mean? Like,
shit. If you guys want to talk about religion. I got half a book that says that's a good idea.
You know what? Actually, hold on. I am gonna say something about religion because this is exactly making my point. Dennis has been my best friend for almost 15 years. Dennis and I have known each other extraordinarily long time. We are best friends. I consider him my brother. I've stayed at his house. He stayed at mine. Our families, I consider his family my family. Dennis and his family are religious people. My
dad's debatable, but yeah.
Your dad's insane. Dennis and his mother are both religious, and
so is my brother.
And his brother, yeah.
Ancestors.
Everyone, pretty much everyone in his family besides his dad is religious. So, for a while when I was younger, I thought I was religious, but that's only because I grew up. My mom is a religious woman. She's not practicing. She doesn't go to church, but she is a religious woman. So, when you're younger, you take on your parents' views and, you try to mold yourself based off that. So I thought...
My dad's a minister of a church, by the way.
I'm going to say this...
Inject that real quick before we continue.
I have nothing against religion.
I'm not religious myself.
Okay. Well, anybody in Matt's chat who's religious and is thinking that I'm gonna attack religion. No, I love religion. I love that an idea can bring a group of people together and make them happy. What I don't like about religion is when it's radicalized, and I don't like when it's used for political reasons. I don't like it when people use religion to hurt people. That is why I am not religious. I choose not to be religious because I don't want to align myself. I don't want to be placed in a group where somebody could look at me and say, "Oh, he's a radicalized religious person."
So okay,
part of
so
and also-
religion aside, what about spirituality?
I don't know. I just kind of think
level, right? Because you just said you're not religious because of those things, but then that kind of inclined me to think like you have some sort of like spiritual belief.
No,
because myself, like I'm agnostic. Like I have no answers.
Basically, basically when it comes to Donovan, he is open-minded with things, but like he doesn't know, like he doesn't have proof of anything, so he's not religious.
That's what agnostic means. Yeah,
he's
that's the best way to describe me as agnostic. Like, not only do I not want to align myself with religion because of the bad association with certain parts of religion, but it's just like I don't know what's out there. There may be a God.
And
I don't know.
Another thing is the fact that even like you not being religious, thinking of like death or people who've died in your family and stuff, it's a scary thought. I mean, you might not know where you're gonna end up.
And that's to be honest, that's one of the scariest things, because the way I look at it, like as of right now, if I die, that's it. I'm dead, and that's the end of my life, and that's all that happens, and it freaks me out.
Thought.
And I wish I could think like, no, I'm gonna go to heaven. I'm gonna go to hell. Even going to hell is a better thought than me just thinking, oh, one day I'm gonna die and I'm not gonna.
Where I get caught up on that is like that's just a like reflex of the human brain to have that comfortable thought because of how scary it is.
I question.
Right? Like, wouldn't it be nice that there was a heaven? Yeah, it would fucking be nice, but I don't think there. You know what I mean? Like that's the like logical side of me being like, nah, that's just something we made up to make ourselves feel better because that's fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, of course, I'm naturally Christian, even though I don't seem like it much. But like, do you ever question like why? Obviously, not why you're alive, but like what started human beings? Like why does our heart pump and brain function
unless I'm
by
smoking
itself,
weed.
kind of thing?
Honestly, the way
why are we here?
I think we're literally here because of coincidence. Like something just like the right things happened at the right time, and boom, that's what happened.
I'm also not a big fan of like, I don't have the answer to that, so deity. You know what I mean? Like, like as we progress, like how much science have we learned in the past 100 years in like your lifetime alone? How much technology has been made and like created,
it's
and
wild.
knowledge, right? So like, yeah,
it's wild.
I can't answer all of your questions, but that doesn't mean that the people that come after me won't be able to.
Exactly.
And so I shouldn't just like, without proof isn't reason for belief. And that's like, I've heard that argument before. Like, well, where did we come from? Well, how does this work? Well, why is the Earth perfect and none of the other planets are perfect? And our solar system is perfectly aligned and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but that's an absence of proof. That's not a reason to believe in something. What you're giving me is like reasonable doubt in like just one circumstance, but that doesn't mean that there isn't another circumstance there that we haven't stumbled upon yet.
What I do,
well,
and that's go ahead, Dennis. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, like, yeah, I know belief systems are different and stuff, but like, my mom, this is just her experience. It's not like I've seen it or anything, and not like anyone would believe me or not anyway. But like, she was there when my aunt died and when my grandma died, and like my aunt, she had MS and she couldn't move at all and stuff. And I guess like my mom's kind of witnessed before them dying, like my aunt couldn't move at all and stuff, and I guess like she ended up holding her arm up and seeing stuff, and things happen with some people before they die, and I mean, I believe her obviously, but it's just.
And again, like I'm never want to like trample on someone else's like reason to have a belief or something like that. Especially like because in my mind, like I look at my family believing in like their faith, and I see how much like comfort it brings them and like support it brings them in life, and how like how much joy they get from like helping other people in their church. You know what I mean? And I know that they mean no harm by their religion, no harm by their beliefs. It just doesn't make fucking sense to me. So I've never well, I shouldn't say never. Like I've been baptized twice in my life actually. So like I did at one point like grasp onto Christianity, but I have since like given it thought, and I don't identify with that anymore. And I just want to like, I want to remain open to like other options and stuff like that.
Yeah, like ironically, I was the only one of my parents' children that was baptized. I'm the only one who's not religious. So, take that as you may.
I was baptized as a baby.
But Dennis said before about me personally.
Were you like christened then? Is that what they
yes.
call that, Dennis?
What?
Oh, Dennis. Were you christened?
Yeah, christening, right?
I don't know, because I was a baby when
they baptize babies, I think they call it like a christening, and then baptism is for
probably
like
what
that.
it was.
Dennis, have you ever drank the blood of Christ?
Yeah, I've done communion multiple times in my life.
I did that, before.
Dennis, you
See,
drank.
like I grew up in like a strongly religious family. Like I was baptized twice because my first baptism I didn't believe that I had the right mindset about it. I felt like I just did it because like for like a sheeple reason.
Yeah.
So then the second time I was like more committed to the beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
And then I eventually grew away from the thought of it.
But Dennis said like about me, I have a very open mind. I'm open to every. I like. It's not like I haven't studied on religion. Like I have a fucking Bible on my fridge that I read.
My dad went to college for. He went to a Bible college for like to get a degree in like. I don't know.
My cousin,
I don't even know what it is, but he.
My cousin is a Buddhist.
Something. Now he's a preacher.
He is a follower of Buddha, and I have had multiple conversations with him and just told him, like, teach me everything you know, like, tell me everything that you learned about personal. I've done like research on any other form of religion that I thought, could have affected me personally, and I could have followed. And anything I've ever read, I'm like, yeah, this is it's a beautiful idea, but it doesn't work for me. Like personally, nothing that I've read up on, tried to find faith in, has worked for me. And I'm not saying it's wrong because of that. Like if you like, on paper, I love religion. I envy people who can look up and say, I believe there's something up there that loves me so dearly that when I die, they're gonna take me to nirvana.
Well, that's what I mean. Like
I love that.
I'm not against the idea. Like it's a really nice fucking thought, but like,
it's just
having no gun violence in the world is a really nice thought too. But me just believing in it doesn't make it real. You know what I mean? So like,
that's what
that's where like I'm not criticizing the idea of religion. I'm just like, prove it to me. Like it would make me feel so much better if I could convince myself of it. But I just
one of my favorite things to say to people. I've told it. And I've told it like every single one of my friends. I'm like, I'll believe in God when He comes down in front of me and says, "Hey, I'm here."
But that's part of the condition. That doesn't count. If that exchange has to happen, you still go to hell because you don't have the faith. Like
exactly,
it's the whole bamboozle. Like it's jumping through hoops again. It fucks me.
God comes down, looks me in the eyes, and says, "Bitch, you thought," and then opens up a trap door, and I just go straight down.
And like again, like. Okay, I would love to follow those steps, but I don't. Even if I did all of it, like I said, I've been baptized fucking twice. Even if I did all of it, I'm still sitting there, and this is why I'm not religious, because I'm still sitting there in my own head going, I can fool everyone around me, but I'm not fooling myself. I don't actually have that faith. I don't have that blind trust. I don't have that real belief. I'm just walking the walk and talking the talk.
Yeah.
And that's like the point I got to with like my religion, where I looked at my parents, I'm like, I'm not going to church anymore. And then also I'm gay, so that was like a whole thing. But like that's a different conversation. but like no, just for real, for starters, I was just like, this isn't something that I can like grasp onto and like fake anymore, quote unquote. So like until I find reasoning to like have that faith inside of me, then like I'm not gonna be able to grasp onto any religion or any like spiritual based belief, and I'm gonna perpetually be searching for like.
You know the best part about this conversation?
Or bionic body replacement, so I can live forever. Sorry.
What Dennis? What's the best part?
is the fact that we don't actually like legit argue about this stuff. And
this is what I'm saying. Like, we don't have to be fucking kids about it. People can sit here. Like, I'm literally. This is another example of me looking at someone being like, I don't agree with anything you've said, essentially, but like, we can sit here and talk about why we don't agree with each other. Like,
you know, but
no, you're all wrong.
We're talking a lot, but Rob is not.
I'm a man of mystery.
Someone in the chat said that already. They're like, at one point, they're like, let the guy in the top right talk. God damn it! I was like,
so Rob,
it's up to him.
Hit us up with that info.
So,
do you believe in a white man with a beard brings you to heaven?
Hey, how do you know he's white? What the fuck?
Or a black man with a beard, or an Asian man with a beard?
What do you mean Middle Eastern, technically, like geographically?
Dude, I just want Morgan Freeman up there when I get there, if there is a place.
That's like, he would not have blue eyes and brown hair. Like
that's gonna be the biggest bamboozle of all time. Morgan Freeman's gonna be chilling up there, and he's gonna be like, "Yeah, I was among you the time."
We're gonna be like, "Oh shit, is that Morgan Freeman?" It's like, I'm not ready.
No, for real, Rob. How do you feel about religion?
I'm just gonna tell you this. My mom and I had this conversation before I went into the ER by myself, and she's like, "Do you believe in God?" I was like, "I don't know. We're about to find out." Because there was like,
you know what? I wouldn't expect anything less from you.
I'm like
that. That's the exact answer I expect. And I love you for that.
It was funny because I could have easily went a couple weeks ago, but I didn't for some reason.
Yikes.
And I just didn't even care. I was like, all right, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But it is a scary thought.
I'm not ready for that.
Oh, I could go any day. Don't matter to me.
Dude, I got too much to look forward to.
I will never die because I'm terrified of that. Like, I don't want that. Like I kind of joked about it before, but like if stuff like that starts coming out where they're like, yeah, if pieces of your body start going away, we found ways to successfully replace them. Fuck yeah, you can have everything but my brain.
Honestly, that's kind of true though, because like as the years go on, people are able to get like, you know, those parts for their body to be able to move and stuff, you know.
That's what I mean. And
as
like
years
there's
go
all
on,
those
it
like
advances.
sci-fi theories about it. Like, dude, if we get to that point, like, yeah, I'm fine as long as I have my thoughts. I'm fine. Like,
let's all be honest though, they have Walt Disney's head frozen. In the
Oh
basement
yeah,
of Disney
clearly
World.
they're working on it.
that's not the way to go. Don't freeze yourself. Have you guys heard about that company that'll like scoop your brain?
Yeah, there's a cryogenic freezing company that like says
people signing up for it.
They'll cryogenically freeze you and wake you up in the future.
They're like, we can't do it yet, but we think they'll be able to in the future.
It's like the people. It's like
the only
people
condition
who are,
is you die.
It's like this. It's like the people who are signing up for the trip to the first commercial trip to Mars. I mixed Mars and Moose.
That sounds way better.
Moose.
Chocolate milk everywhere.
No, but the people who are signing up for the first commercial trip to the moon, and I'm like, you honestly think that's gonna happen in your life? Like, I don't think that's ever gonna happen. And like, I don't think that's happening.
Don't you doubt Elon?
Donovan.
Don't you doubt Elon? I need a shirt that says Daddy Elon on it.
I'm looking at the camera. What'd you say? Matt said what?
I said my brother Matt.
Yeah.
Said that you need a camera.
I have one, but my phone camera is not the most flattering camera. So.
It's fine.
Yeah, he's on his phone.
PC.
We're going from one thing to the next.
PC is my god. That's what I choose to believe in. When I die, I'm gonna go to heaven. It's gonna be like Radio Shack. I'm just gonna walk in and everything is there.
Dude, I want my room, but like 50 times fold.
All that matters with PCs. Oh, that's the wrong camera. Jesus Christ. All that matters with PCs is the RGB.
Okay.
I can't see mine are frozen for the cameras, so. Oh well.
Way to go, cameras.
That's a lot
Also,
better than
crotch
mine.
cam.
My internet's also trash.
Just make sure you're not in the bathroom. Crotch cam all you want, just can't be in a bathroom.
That's right.
You're right.
It's how you compete with those other streamers that I'm not allowed to talk about because of TOS reasons.
So uncivilized.
Not.
Sorry. Sorry. I'm not a streamer, so not yet anyways.
Twitch hates those words.
I was, but I kind of stopped like a while ago.
You're all streamers right now. Hate to break it to you.
Technically, yes.
You're live on the website, you dinguses.
Twice.
I mean,
TS?
I still have over 1,000 followers on Twitch, but like I just kind of stopped.
Kill them all.
Kill all the followers?
Wait.
Hold on. No, calm down.
Went too far. Cut. We're going offline.
Rob, edit this out of the recording. Somebody clip it. Somebody clip it in the chat. Matt saying kill them all. Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna go through this, and every time someone says "kill them all," I'm gonna put it in the beginning of the video.
Kill them all.
Including yourself, though?
Yep, I'm putting that one in there too.
Okay, good.
Yeah, fuck it. Kill them all. It's the intro to like the Ginsuu podcast. Kill them all. Kill them all. Kill them all. Kill them all. Fuck them all. Kill them all.
I don't know why the phrase I chose was "kill them all," but
It's like a darker version of Pokemon.
gotta kill them all.
Gotta kill them all. So, have you guys seen the Pokemon fans are losing their minds because they're not including the entire Pokedex in the games, in the new games?
I have seen that.
Yep. I have seen that. But
So,
you know what?
I really don't care. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. But I will say the best thing to come out of this is I seen a meme. It's somebody edited the Pokemon logo and this catchphrase, and it said, "Pokemon gotta catch only some of them."
I gotta catch only some of them.
And I was like, that's good. I like that. Like, I like the people who are making sarcastic memes out of it. I don't like all the toxic ass people who are boycotting the games now because they're not gonna have fucking, I don't know, fucking Grimer in the game or some shit. I don't know. It's dumb.
Oh, Grimer.
Dude, the thing is that like they'll gradually, like they did with the 3DS games, to where you could actually fill a national dex. The Switch games will gradually build up to that eventually. You know, like, it's not going to be a right away thing. Eventually, maybe
people. Once they announced that, I will admit Nintendo, or like not Nintendo, but the Game Freak didn't do the best at explaining it. Like, yeah, all the Pokemon are not going to be in the decks immediately. Like, but they have said like they're looking into options like patches coming out where they gradually increase the Pokedex. But they didn't say that in the initial live stream, so everybody lost their fucking mind.
I mean, even if they don't, though, like the 3DS games, they'll gradually build up to that over time with the games. Like, they'll do the Diamond Pearl remakes, and then they'll do another gen eventually and stuff, and they'll gradually build up to that, where you can fill the deck.
The biggest thing people were yelling about is like, well, my favorite Pokemon's not going to be in the game, and I'm like, first of all, you don't know that because you probably like a really cool Pokemon. Me, on the other hand, I'm fucked. My favorite Pokemon is Torkoal. Torkoal is not going to be in those games.
You're right.
So if I can let go of that, I'm pretty sure you guys can.
I mean, neither is Darkrai, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah, Darkrai's not going to be in that fucking game. But I'm just saying, like, if Torkoal is in that game, it'll be some miraculous fucking gift from the heavens. Oh, here we go again, talking about religion.
Fingers crossed, my boy's
all
in there.
comes back around.
I'll pray to Arceus that Torkoal is in Sword and Shield.
It's gonna be a no for me though.
So that's another thing that Pokemon shouldn't have done is created like a god Pokemon because like
And like a god Pokemon that is like a
adds
mixture.
issues.
It's confusing because it's a mixture of like it's based off of I believe it's because it says it has 1,000 arms, so that I believe that's Hindu. And then it was westernized, so it's like no, this is God. And then Japan, it's whatever. It's confused. Like I don't Arceus. I don't care about it. I don't like its design. It's not cool to me. I don't see a need for it. It just adds confusion to everything.
Yeah,
You could have
an
just
issue.
you could have just had Palkia and Dialga. You didn't need God and the Devil because Giratina is clearly the devil. Well, in the Western version, he's the devil. I don't know what the opposite of God is in every other religion. I don't know. It's whatever. At least Arceus won't be in Sword and Shield, so rip to any Arceus fans out there.
Damn, I was really looking forward to catching that one.
Do you know that's still the one?
Get out of
like,
here,
that
Rob.
is still one of the Pokemon that has never actually been released.
Really?
You cannot legitimately get an Arceus.
Damn.
Oh yeah, that's right. I cheated for mine.
Yeah, so did I. I cheated for all my mythical legendary Pokemon that weren't in the game of it because they only had events in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Japan and New York was the American. Japan, New York, London, and then maybe one other city. I said Japan as if it's like a city. I meant Tokyo. Fucking hell. I'm gonna get crucified for that. Match chat is
Rip.
like, Japan's not a city, you fucking idiot. That's fine.
He's like,
I've been drinking, so I'll blame it on that.
Some gay guy in the chat is trying to show me his nug. Twitch streamers that try to manipulate people into relationships. Look at my nugs, Dennis. Look at them.
Oh my god, I can't fucking breathe. Holy
I'm gonna have so much fun editing this.
Dude, kill them all.
Kill them all.
Kill them all.
Kill them all.
Just kill them all. Kill them all.
Gotta kill them all. Kill them all. Kill them all. Kill them all. Kill them all.